PI thinks sadistic plans were set for teen's corpse.
What?
Whatever the hell that means. Hopefully it has nothing to do with necrophilia.
There is no way that this guy got this girl killed and then was gonna do stuff to the dead body. Oh, people are just disgusting, bro. How do you even do that? Yes, my people, how are we all doing today? It's Jams. Now, in today's video, we have an update on the David and Celeste case, and the title is crazy. David hired a hitman to kill Celeste. New update. If things are as they say, then this puts a whole twist on the narrative, a massive twist on the narrative. Now, this video is by the channel Mori. If you guys do want to see the original video, it will be in the link in the description. But without further ado, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. Sorry, there was a whole ad that we had to get through, so let's get into it now.
Now, according to latest reports, according to You Ain't That Hard Foo on Instagram, they say private investigator says police know the identity of the last person that drove David's Tesla with Celeste Rivas's body inside, but they can't yet reveal who it is.
Oh, they got the DNA samples as well.
Duh, obviously. Electric vehicles, Teslas,
Yep.
the like have a fuck ton of biometric data, cameras everywhere,
Yeah.
GPS, geo-tracking, and location.
So
Don't
mad that
some
you
of
put
these
it in a
vehicles
Tesla of
use
all cars. You should have
fingerprints
just
or,
had an
like,
old
Face
banger.
ID to even unlock the vehicles?
Not to say that he should have done it, of course, but you know what I mean.
It's like, obviously, which is why everybody's so irritated, because how did they not even, like, why have they not made any arrests yet? Given the level of security surveillance in
They're really building up a
2025,
lot of
I'm pretty
evidence
sure
on
they
this.
already know who was in that vehicle. Like, let's be honest, California is one of the most surveilled
Drop my shit.
states in the entire union. And as you can see on David's page, he hasn't really made any updates. He actually dipped down below 2 million followers and then gained all that shit back. So it's just like, wow. It seems like he has way more support now than he did prior to Celeste being found in his Tesla. But to quickly
Really?
get into the meat and potatoes, according to TMZ, they say Celeste Rivas investigation. PI thinks sadistic plans were set for teen's corpse.
What?
Whatever the hell that means. Hopefully it has nothing to do with necrophilia.
There is no way that this guy got this girl killed and then was gonna do stuff to the dead body. Oh, people are just disgusting, bro. How do you even do that?
We already
What the fuck?
had this story surrounding pedophilia. Let's not dive into the territory of people trying to mess with dead bodies. The private investigator hired to probe Celeste Rivas's death case has made a harrowing revelation. He thinks there was a, and I quote, sadistic plan made to get rid of the teen. And of course, our theories is that, she either OD'd or she was pregnant, or both, who knows? People also think she wanted to reveal the relationship to the world, naturally, of course. And because of that, either David, a manager, or somebody within his circle, knowing that that would mess up the money and sending to prison, said, hey, we gotta find a solution to this to shut her up. They say the PI says that he can't spill much, but thinks the original plan went wrong at some point, and that the Tesla, where her dismembered corpse was found in early September, was supposed to be a holding spot, so a temporary spot before transferring her body to somewhere else.
Oh my days.
Steve, who was hired by the homeowner of the $3.6 million Hollywood Hills home singer David stayed in. Remember that home he was staying in, he abandoned after, I suppose, people started showing up, investigators started pulling up, he had to dip. Yeah, apparently the owner of that mansion, who was rightfully creeped the fuck out, hired this guy to find out what the hell happened in his home. I would do the same if I were a homeowner.
That's logical. That's logical. That's very logical.
And then they're all of a sudden linked to a dead body of a minor. I don't want to be culpable of that.
100%. You might as well just get your name out of it by helping support the case.
You're on the side of caution, hire a PI to figure out what the hell was happening in my home. But here's some footage, an interview that, and shout out to Law and Crime Network on YouTube. I'm sure we're all familiar with them. They had an interview with the PI on this case, separate from law enforcement, investigating this, and here's what he had to say.
Person where I think things are a lot easier than people try to make them sometimes, especially online, into these big things. And I thought this was going to be a tragic overdose, which very well still could be. And they made a bad decision because they didn't want to expose a potential relationship and put her in this Tesla, and then maybe he thought he could get somebody to get rid of that that car, and they were just like, no, I'm not doing it, and just got left there. But I will say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her, and it's
These lot had a
scary,
whole
sort of
elaborate
sadistic
scheme.
stuff,
Oh
and
my
that's why
days.
we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't. But it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just
Oh, this picture's creeping me out a bit. Please change the picture.
Timing was just off as far as getting
Thanks.
this done.
I'm just gonna say, here's my theory that, and I'm sticking with it.
That's
she
so
either wanted
mad.
to speak because she was pregnant, she wanted to make everything public, right? Or she was just getting tired of the secrets, and she finally wanted to make this relationship public, knowing that it would destroy his career and his life. Possibly they got into an argument, and she said, this is why this, that, and the third. I'm going to tell what you've done with me. I'm gonna tell the whole world that you're dating a minor. You met me when I was this old, at this age. I'm going to destroy your career. And of course, naturally, anybody.
Okay, now, random, everyone take a step back before I say what I'm going to say, right? I understand that she is a minor, right? I was once a minor as well. I was once 15. And whether I was 10, 12, 15, 18, or 21, my narrative has always been yellow wicked. Okay? Now listen. We can all give the benefit of the doubt that she don't know any better. She doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. I'm there. I'm on the same side as you, right? But as a man with a career, whether you're doing right or wrong with this gal, bro, you need to just stay away from these things, bro. I really recommend this, bro. I really recommend this. Any woman that's willing to encroach on your career, do not get involved with them. Now, David is disgusting. Right? Because he's gone down a nasty route in doing this, bro. But I'm going to keep it real, bro. Yellow wicked, bro. And they will ruin you when they feel like it. Now, again, Celeste is a minor. We all know this, right? Cool. But if I'm being honest, I really wish that the plan actually fell through, because this would have been fantastic karma. It would have been fantastic karma for the nasty, heinous behavior that David's been doing. Honestly, I can't wait to see how this whole thing unfolds, to be honest. But hey, I've just said my point. That's all.
In that position that David would have been in. By the way, this is all speculation. Being in that position, backed into a corner, possibly being exposed for a legit federal crime. He and anybody else in his circle, knowing about the situation, would have started devising a plan to make sure she never has the chance to expose anything, to make sure she never has the chance to make anything public. And honestly, as I've said,
he wanted to silence her, man.
Before, please
watch
your career.
But this is the issue I've got as well, because Jamal, you can say the gallow wicked part, blah, 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 and it's true. It can be very true. But put that nonsense to the side, right? Put that little funny bit to the side, right? That's not massively funny. But her family failed her so bad. So bad. Bro, that's the age gap of death, bro. Man said 15 and 20. 18 and 13. Nah. 15 and 10. Bro, that's disgusting, man. The family, I can't lie. Low-key under the jail, bro. High-key, if I'm being honest. That's just so nasty, bro. You tried to use her as like your golden goose egg as a child to basically fall into riches with her being with David as well. Oh, man, that's sickening, bro.
World since the beginning of time, in civilization, society, and in nature, is full of predators. From tigers, lions, bears, snakes, spiders, all the way on up into sadistic, murdering, serial-killing human beings. These people, these creatures, these things will always exist. But what you can do is protect yourself and being proactive in your life and in your family's lives and your children's lives and anybody else for that matter that you
my
care
point
about.
exactly.
Clearly, based off of everything that I've learned about the situation, Celeste just didn't have enough protection.
Thank you. See my point, bro.
They become a little rebellious. It is what it is. But
it's true,
that is when you really have to step it up. No matter what like modern society wants to tell you, bro. You as a father or mother, you gotta like you have to try your best to save your child from this cold world. Like obviously protect them, provide for them, and teach them about the realities, but also protect them from these dangerous pitfalls that can, mortally wound them. Have them end up in jail, shot, dismembered, killed. Like, you guys, I don't have to spell this out for anybody. It's a cold world we live in, and It's just a shame what happened.
Has anyone from David's team, management, legal, anybody reached out to you or your client?
You know, I know that my client's been in touch with his manager, but only for the purpose of the lease, because they did ask to terminate the lease. And I believe the other manager that technically was the owner of the red Tesla, I think was in touch with him just because they needed access to the house to get that vehicle and stuff out. Because that's another thing that I think could be key in this, is that there's only one key to that house, and who had that and who had access to it and who was in it. Because we also have evidence that while David was on tour at the time between the Tesla being found and the search warrant being served, David was on tour, but somebody was in that house. And there was actually a report made, not with police, but
they must have their DNA samples.
A robust private security company, and we've gotten videos from them and reports. And so who had that key is probably the same person that, you know, had access to the Tesla.
So it sounds like this is an assassin. And of course, if you're rich, you don't want to get your hands dirty. And if you're the manager, you definitely don't want to get your hands dirty for your artist, your client. So yeah, they probably hired somebody from like SoCal or some shit to pull up. I don't know where, I forgot the address, but in the hills, right? David was living in. Anybody involved in this case remotely allocated to be a co-conspirator, they're going to get their reputation and career destroyed. This guy is probably just a random landlord / homeowner in the Hollywood Hills. He probably has multiple properties, and he doesn't want to have this entire situation tarnishing his entire real estate career. As a business owner, one of your clients fuck up, you don't want to be culpable for their actions. Totally understandable.
But he's going through the right lengths to make sure that this is like dealt with properly, which I can definitely respect.
Do you know who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say but I don't know who exactly was in that house, because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her body? I don't know.
Man, that's got to be scary. Imagine, you know, David on tour, and he knows that she knows that he knows that she may one day speak up about this, and he's thinking in the back of my mind, I can't go to prison. This is crazy. And she's been saying wild shit, right? He's now having
to set up an escape route.
Indicating that he was definitely in a relationship with her. And the one thing that could really expose him and really get him caught up is her word, verifying everything, corroborating everything. So he probably went on tour, you know, he left her back at his house saying, you know, all right, whatever, you can stay here and chill. Mind you, at this point in time, she already ran away. So she...
So is there a chance that she was just killed, just alone by herself in the house? And then the hitman just cleaned up the body, done everything, and then just dashed her in the boot of the Tesla and just drove it somewhere. Oh my God. Well, this guy, I'm assuming, is like just on tour. Oh, that's terrifying, bro. That poor baby, bro. That's terrifying, bro.
He's thinking everything is cool and peachy
that's
and fine,
not,
right?
man.
But on David's side, he already knows that he has this set in motion.
Yeah.
This is speculation, by the way. Him and his team or whoever already probably hired somebody, possibly, to come and take her out to smoke her. And I'm just like, bro,
exactly.
if something like that actually happened, can you imagine the amount of fear coursing through her body during the last moments of her life?
Thank you.
Actual
exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know if regular people can be classified as assassinated, but I'm saying, like, you know, an assassin coming to take her out. I just gotta say, this entire case, in my opinion, is the spookiest shit I've ever covered on this. It's the most convoluted
mad.
too, but it's incredibly spooky. It's creepy. And I'm telling you 100%, if this happened to any normal person, any normal civilian, we would have, the case would have already started, and we would have but
they're really building it up.
And
really building it
So
up.
now saying, finally, an exclusive update from Law and Crime, not just some regurgitated old news. I understand, you know, a lot of things have been recycled. Somebody else said, finally, I feel like we're getting somewhere. Big thanks to the landlord for hiring a private investigator. I know he's doing it to protect himself, but it sure did help with my anxiety on this case. Somebody said, protect himself. How? how would a crime that happened on his property affect him legally? I don't know. Some people are not bright. They don't understand how you owning a property and a crime happening on it can lead you to being liable for that crime. It happens. But of course, OP responded back by saying it happened at his property. So he would want to know to what extent his property is involved with a potential crime.
Yeah,
that
literally.
should be obvious, but hey. Ladies and gentlemen, that said, with this update, what do you think about this? Thoughts and opinions down below. This is crazy. Also, for the Battlefield 6.
Oh, shut up. Crazy stuff going on with this case. I won't even sit there and lie to you. I'm so glad that there's steps in the right direction to actually figure out what's going on properly. Because I'm gonna keep it real. This guy can't be just out and about on the streets for too long, bro. Sooner or later, this guy might just end up taking a flight to Peru, fam, and just never coming back. You know what I mean? But I can't lie, that was fantastic content from Maury as usual. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I will link the original video in the description. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.